Hello everyone, you are welcome to Agbedo Talk Show, otherwise known as The Other Side. This is a place where we talk about trending issues. We look at it from different perspectives and we try to analyze it and make some recommendations. And we also give room for feedbacks and comment from viewers. So you are welcome. In today's episode, I want to talk about the ongoing commotion, if you want to call it like that, or ongoing skirmishes, besmirching, or altercation, or hula baloo, anyone you choose to call it, between some PDP governors in Nigeria, notably Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State, and Governor Wike Nyesome Wike of River State. So these two governors, they belong to PDP, and we can see from the trending videos and some statements issued by both one of the statement issued by one of the governors and the social media video made by one of the other governors. Both of them are trending, and it has become a talk of the day. And this is very important thing to talk about, because what happens in both states, Edo State and the River State, it matters a lot in Nigeria. Not to talk about the oncoming presidential election, which is to take place in 2023, of which PDP, as one of the greatest parties in Nigeria, is also preparing to go to Aso Rock to take over from the current administration. So I think it's something that is very interesting, because politics is something that everyone should be involved in. If you are not involved in politics, it means you are selling away your birthright, because other people have to dictate for you. They have to tell you what to do and what you don't do. They tell you what you drink. They tell you how you move. They make law and they preach law for you. And that is not fair if you do not, if you try to pay deaf ear to these political upheavals. So it is good that we have to make our own contribution. So as I was saying, if you like what we are saying, you just give me some likes, and you can subscribe to my channel as well. So I'll be very glad for that. So I just want to, let's first of all start with the prelude of some of these two giant PDP governors in Nigeria. Let me start with Governor Godwin Obaseki, who is the executive governor of Edo State. Obaseki actually went to Ewosa Grammar School in Benin City. He was also born in Benin City at Onwena area. And after that, he went to University of Ibadan. And from there, I think he studied in America as well. Went to there's a Pace University and the University of Columbia, and I think his most area of specialization is on business. I think, you know, with some of the degrees he had, they were on MBA. And Obaseki also is an investment banker. He has worked in New York before he came to Nigeria, and he has been working with many African investment banking. And I think in the year 1995, he was able to start his own investment business, the Afri Invest. And he was the chairman board of trustees, which he later left when he started his political career. First with he was the economic strategic team chairman or leader during the time of Governor Oshomole. Oshomole was the governor. It was the APC governor in Edo State for 2 terms, and after which he went for the national chairman of APC. So also Governor Obaseki was serving under the former governor, APC governor Adams Oshomole, as the chairman for the economic team, or the leader for the economic team. Obaseki did a lot of things because he was as the chairman of the economic and strategic team in Edo State. He was responsible for providing, looking for avenue to provide fund for the infrastructure or restructuring the state public finance, and looking at how to make tax digital in Edo State. I think he did a lot of progressive. He had a lot of progressive achievement during the time of Adam Oshomole, and because of this, Adam Oshomole recommended Governor Obaseki also as the next governor of Edo State, and because of his success as well, all the people of Benin, all the indigenes of Benin, or the Edo State to speak, because in Edo State we have about 5 major tribes. We have the Edo people, we have the Esan people, we have the Onwa people, we have the Afema people, we also have the Akoko Edo people in Edo State. So all of them, because we are all happy with the way Obaseki was working with Oshomole, and there was no saying that he was overwhelmingly voted for by the population of Edo State, because they like his leadership style, and that was how Obaseki came to become the governor of Edo State, with his deputy as well, Philip Shaibu, who was well loved by all the population of Edo State, and they defeated the APC governor, person of Yamu. He was defeated, and that is how this governor came to Edo State. But we should not forget that when Governor Obaseki was, because he applied to be a governor under APC, but he was refused the ticket because of the discrepancies, or because of the altercation between himself and the former governor Adam Oshomole. So he was denied ticket, and he later came to PDP, and the PDP offered him the ticket, himself and Chaibo, and he was presented to Edo State, and Edo State voted for him, and he defeated the opponent, as I said, and since then, the governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, has been working very well, and the people is a well-loved governor. There has not been any issue of money of fraud concerning Godwin Obaseki. Just to say one of the most important things, people say different things, but Obaseki is someone that actually, he has won the heart of the people of Edo State, just to say the least. And with the work he's doing, many people in Edo State, they are very happy with the job he's doing. Government is for the people, by the people. And as far as people like what you are doing, whatever others say is not important. And but we can say that there were some discrepancies even in the governance of in terms of people, the PDP itself, the old members of the party, and the new members of the party who came to join PDP, who followed Godwin Obaseki to join the PDP, of which, because many of these members were also executive members from APC, because Obaseki moved party from APC to PDP. So these people resigned their positions, and there were other ordinary members as well. They followed the people that were members of APC before. Many of them, all of them folled them. So, as I was saying, since Obaseki and joined the party PDP, record shows that about 500,000 people have registered to become members of PDP. I think that is a very, it holds the governor to a very high esteem, because being able to win about 500,000 souls to register for a party is a very big achievement. Anyway, we are coming to all this achievement later. Just as I said, I just want to let me just reiterate that I want to balance this this story, because people shouldn't think that I don't want to be biased in this in this episode, in this talk. I just want to talk about both governors, and I think there are a lot of analysis here. In the people, we have different things to say. People will look at it from different perspectives, and we'll see where we can where we end up. That is it for now concerning Governor Obaseki and the way he came to power in Edo State. So let me also move to the other side, because this story is about looking at both sides of the coin. Because don't look at both sides, one side, and because one hat does not fit all. In life, people wear different hats, so one hat cannot fit everybody. So that is why it is very good to look at it from different perspectives and view from different angles. Because what people have to call a spade, and the way people view a particular thing might be different from how others see it. Because it depends on the angle where you are standing. That is how you can deduce that this is this or this is that. Okay, now on the part of Governor Nyesome Wike, who is the executive governor of Rivers State. The governor of Rivers State, came into power or became a governor, I think, 2015, when he took over from Governor Rotimi Amechi of Rivers State as well. And before then, Nyesome Wike went to University of Rivers State, where he became a lawyer. He's a lawyer as well, you know. He graduated as a lawyer, and he has worked in some law firm in Rivers State. And he moved into politics. When he moved into politics, he joined this party, PDP party, I think about 1999. And since then, he has been with the party, and he has been graduating from one position to another. First as PDP local government chairman. It was also made. It was also made the chief of staff for Rotimi Rotimi Amechi. Rotimi was the former governor of Rivers State. He was the chief of staff for some time. I think that was between 2014 to I can't really get that distance. So let me just. Governor Wike was the local government chairman from 1999 to 2007, and under Rotimi under Rotimi Amechi, he was the chief of staff from 2007 to 2011, and he was also made the national chairman of all local government area in Nigeria between 2003 and 2011. And he was also appointed as the Nigerian Minister of State for local government, for all local government. And later he was made the acting Minister for Education, which he later also resigned. And he resigned this in 2014 and joined vied for the position of the governorship in Rivers State. And Wike there are many tribes in Rivers State, and I think about 26 tribes. And Wike is from Equere tribe. There are other notable tribes from Rivers State, and we have we have the I think I put a little state somewhere. We have the Abwa, we have the Ekpeye, we have the Ibani, we have the Ondoni people, we have the Ogu, we have the Saro, we have Kane, we have Egbeme, we have Bolo and the Asa, and Kugano. There are many other states. About 26 states. About 26 tribes. No, sorry, about 26 tribes in Rivers State, and he is from Equere tribe. Wike, Governor Wike, I think he has been a very successful governor in Rivers State. Second time now, because the first time, there was a sort of when he fought with when he competed with the rival, so there were discrepancies about his win. And this thing was to go to court, and after, later, it came out that Governor Wike was given that card, that governorship card in Rivers State, and it was declared the winner in that state. Even before then, there was a sort of court this thing against him, that even we were just trying to go to his this thing to chase him, to give him a court letter. But at the end of the day, his opponent he defeated his opponent, who was an APC. I think that was Dakuku. That was in 2014, the first time that Dakuku Peter Side. I think that's the name of his opponent that time. Dakuku Peter Side, who was the contestant, the governorship contestant from APC. So this was recanted after the court case, and which they didn't actually hold. It was recanted, and Governor Wike was declared. Yet he was declared the winner of that governorship election in 2015. So his first time was 2015, where he took over from Governor Rotimi Amechi, who was then the governor of Rivers State. Wike is the 6th governor of Rivers State, and it's one of the oldest, if I say, in the party. I think it's been in the party since PDP since 1999, and I would say that of course he has also done a lot for the party. There's no doubt about that. There's no saying about that he has not done any. He has done a lot for the party. He was during the time of when Godwin Obaseki was elected. He was the chairman of that election in Edo State. Was to that is the chairman in terms of PDP. He was to oversee the election in Edo State, and he did come to Edo State and he did the right thing. I know how what it takes, and how himself played to play this role to make sure that Edo State election was not rigged. Even there was a time that he was placed in house arrest by the IG of the country of Nigeria during that election, 2020 election, that brought Godwin Obaseki into power. I think this is just the prelude concerning Nyesome Wike, the current executive governor of Rivers State. And if you look if you look at it, I thought he did well for the party. I think all he was doing was to make sure that the party succeed, because after the PDP was not having the chance for that 8 years, after the previous PDP regime. So there was their time was very slim. So they have to fight tooth and nail to make sure that they come into power. And it was the emergence of Godwin Obaseki that actually really helped them to make sure that they climb into power again in Edo State, because Edo State, generally, they were not willing to vote for PDP. But I think Edo State is, in terms of, traditionally, Edo State is a PDP state. That we have many supporters of PDP in Edo State, but I think what happened was, because economically, Edo State was not growing, so they were fed up. And that is why, Shomole came in under APC and it was voted into power at that time. Anyway, that is not what I want to look at. So let us, that is so just look at the prelude to this case, or this altercation, or sort of these skirmishes between Obaseki and Governor Wike. So I just want to make it clear that Governor Noreras Godwin Obaseki is serving the second term now as a governor. The first one was under APC, where he won, clearly. He won the opponent. I think that was Yamon clearly, and that the first race from 2016. And himself and his deputy, they served for 4 years. And after that 4 years, because of the refusal of the ticket from APC, he went to PDP, and this is the time that Wike and other people got involved, and even PDP members, got involved with this administration, because he is now a PDP card-bearer. So those that gave him refuge are now the people, connected to him in this saga. So just to make it clear for people to know, so that you know the chronology of events. Thank you. So as I said before, don't hesitate to give me some likes and to subscribe to my channel. So now we talk about this. I've been talking about skirmishes, commotion, and whatever between Godwin Obaseki, Governor Godwin Obaseki, and Governor Wike Nyesome. What's actually going on? What is happening? That everything is going viral. It seems the two governors are not agreeing, and sort of some sort of personal attacks and attacks on the state as well. Using some languages, derogatory languages that people don't actually cherish. And this is alarming, and people are not comfortable with this kind of language because I think from both sides, we could hear from the governor of River State, Governor Wike, using words like Obaseki is a serial betrayer. He has betraying attitude in his DNA. Who is his father? For instance, there are tenants, he's tenants in PDP, and so derogatory and complimentary languages, and these are what we heard on social media, and people are not comfortable with these kind of words. And Obaseki also wrote a letter. I think there was a statement saying that PDP, it does not belong to Governor Wike. It is not the Wike's property, and the Wike would have done something differently if there's anything wrong. If Wike is seeing anything cloudy, that is be cloudy in him in terms of what is going on, that he would have contacted him by email or call him. So what actually happened? Because of the disagreement between Edo State government and the old, the PDP. Let me say the PDP party. Let me just try to demarcate this this one from saying old PDP and new PDP. When I say old PDP, I mean PDP as a party, as it were before, and new PDP, people that came with Governor Obaseki to join the PDP in Edo State. So that's what I mean. If I have to differentiate it like this, please don't take it as offense, because it's just a sort of rhetoric sort of description. So I don't really, some people don't agree with that term, old PDP or new PDP. But based on this story, so I have to put it like that for people to understand what I mean. So PDP, obviously said, okay, there's a constitution, and then there are those that are constitutionally elected, in the party, and they have these positions. And now that there's a sort of another governor who just joined PDP, and he was given the ticket with the deputy governor who joined this thing. So the governor felt there was need for harmonization, in the sense that since sort of merger has now come up with new people joining them, there's a sort of reshuffle some of these positions and make sure that the things work to bring harmony and peace in the party. But the old PDP also saw this thing from a different perspective, saying that you just joined the governor and his entourage, they just joined the party, and there's no way they can change things for them. So they remain old PDP, so they don't want to move an inch from their positions they are holding. I know that I think many things changed hand before Obaseki was given that ticket. And because obviously PDP, they were also planning that they will hold their, whether they lose or whether they win, they will definitely, contest. And they had their president, somebody was vying for the position of the governor and the deputy before. And because of Obaseki came along, so I think they gave those things up. And of course, it's sort of harmonization. That is how it started. That is how political parties are supposed to be, because in politics, nothing should be rigid. Everything is, is flexible in politics, because it's about life. It just there's no point to hang on to mythical notions or to stick, stagnantly to a particular point. You don't want to shift. You don't want to move. Because it doesn't. Politics already work. I think they did well, and that's. But now the skirmishes or the discrepancies between them is that the governor of Edo State wanted harmonization. In that case, he wanted them to, since there are people from old PDP and new PDP, he wanted them to sort of work together, to give some fit some people in, those that came with them, and those that are there before, so that they work together. And I think this one was not the harmonization was not a language for the old PDP. They never saw it. They never deemed it necessary. They never saw it to be a good way of doing things. And I think this one has been the kind of the discrepancies between these the governor of Edo State, or the government. I may not say the government of Edo State, and the old PDP. And there are some alleged statements, or allegations that some of these allegations were going to River State, was going to Nyesome Wike, and there was a sort of cook up there as well, which we cannot verify. And but we don't know about this, but we just have to follow what is going on, what is trending, and what they are saying. And so now, where did this provocation really start from? Because recently, because of this upheaval, because things were not actually going well between the government of Edo State and the old PDP members. So there was need for sort of settlement when things are happening in a family, for instance. So when two people cannot settle in a family, like husband and wife, I think they have to cry to the family to make settlement, because two of them could not settle it. The same thing is applicable here, because the party could not, they couldn't work. If those state PDP couldn't work together, the government and the old PDP members, they couldn't work together. So there was time to call out for the national chairman. The national chairman was invited to Edo State. He was received in a very, very in a manner that very good manner. He was received in a very good way. Punctuously received, and there was a lot of crowd there. Some people came, even the chairman was there. The Edo State chairman, PDP chairman was there, and other people were there. But some people didn't turn up because of these discrepancies. And the idea was to settle what is going on between both parties, the government and the old PDP members. And the deputy governor, Philip Shaibu, now used this opportunity. Shaibu, I think, is himself, he was he has been the deputy governor for the second time now, and we know where he's coming from. He was the one-time president of NAS, the Nigerian Association of the National Association of Nigerian Students. So he was the president, and as a youth. So this is the way. This is the youth nowadays. They need to be talked to in a different way. They need to do because youth are the leaders of tomorrow. As he was saying, he was making a sort of frank idea from his own perspective that these people, those that followed the governor, including himself, since over 2 years now, they have not been welcomed. They have not been integrated into the party. So he was making that he was making his own point that some of them are not happy being in the party, because they are not being integrated. That he never thought it's going to be this way. That wherever the governor go, that is wherever the governor goes, that is where other people who follow the governor will actually go. I think Governor Wike heard about this. The governor of River State heard about this and started saying, "Oh, who is this? How come that Philip Shaibu, the deputy governor, is making this kind of statement? We just gave you umbrella to come to this party, and now we have done everything for you. You don't be an ingrate. You are not grateful for what we did for you and all those things." And there was sort of a social media comment and all this sort of something. And, this thing went viral. And the governor of Edo State also has to reply. But he didn't reply through social media. He replied, through a statement. And the statement was, I think, maybe through an email or whatever, to the governor of River State, to Wike. And, reply Wike that you shouldn't be a bully. You don't be a bully because you don't own the PDP. PDP does not belong to you. PDP is a party which is for everybody. Once you are a member of the party, you are a member, you have stake in that party. It does not belong to one person, it belongs to everybody. So, and he said Wike shouldn't be a bully, and he shouldn't, do things in that way. But if Wike has the presidential interest, he should do that without, taking it on other governors, without making life hard for other governor. That Wike should just do the right thing. Would have, as co-governors, he would have called him, or he would have written him to tell him about his anger about this deputy governor. So but later, when Wike got this statement, from Obaseki, so he actually went viral again, and Wike was to open one a secondary school. I think he built a school to a secondary school that it was to open. So he invited some other eminent personalities, and even I saw that you could see that Wike took about 5 minutes to talk about the school, and then he spent almost 15 minutes or even 1 hour talking about this issue about Obaseki and the Edo State in general. Where's like their tenants. Obaseki is an ingrate. Obaseki is this. Obaseki, there's a betrayer. He has a DNA. He's betraying this thing. It's a DNA and all this sort of something, which, to many people, this is not palatable. They he viewed it from both sides. I'm not going to give any judgment here, but it's just for people to look at it, and because the best thing when things are happening like that, the best thing is actually to play a matured game, because they say if you play your attitude to the town gossipers, they will really have they have the reason to gossip you. They have the reason to gossip you, because PDP is a party, and it should be a party for everybody who is a member of that party. Now that this thing is just at the corner, the presidential elections are at the corner, 2023, and PDP, we know the current government of Nigeria is APC. So at least PDP has to do everything possible to make sure that they are working towards taking over Aso Rock, being the next president of Nigeria. So, but with this kind of discrepancies in these two giant states, Edo State and River State, of which when two elephants fight, the ground there will suffer. Governor Wike and Governor Obaseki, they are very prominent governors in PDP. Both of them can move mountains. They have, their wives are superior as well. Mrs. Bessie Obaseki, the wife of Obaseki, Governor Obaseki, and Mrs. Eberechi, the wife of Wike. Both of them are, they are not doing badly. One is a lawyer. The governor of Wike's wife is a lawyer, and Obaseki's wife is an investment banker. So both of them are doing very well, and they are supporting their men as well. So this is hard time that they have to find a common ground on this issue, because I know that recently the Supreme Court in Abuja, made a verdict that those people elected executive members of PDP should remain there till their term is finished, and there's a recent agreement, a committee that was set up by the National Executive Committee to look at the National PDP Executive Committee, which is a panel of about 3 people to look at what is going on in Edo State, which is to be headed by His Excellency Samuel Otom, and of which Senator Dr. Okowa will be one of them, and His Excellency Bala Mohammed will also be one of the members. That was His Excellency Dr. Okowa, Ifeanyi Okowa, of the governor of Delta State, one of them, and Bala Mohammed, which was signed by the National Publicity Secretary of PDP, Honorable Debu. So, in short, this is something that is very interesting. So, as I was saying, if you like what you are seeing, don't hesitate to give me to subscribe to my channel, and to give me some like. You see, because just my general analysis about this whole saga is that PDP as a party, they have to clean their house. You know, if they don't clean their house, because if you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. That is just the adage. If you don't put your house in order, you know, your house will not be clean, and you see outsiders will be laughing at you. There's no point to start washing your dirty linens outside. You have to wash it inside. The party has to be organized in a way that they are going to win this next election, because these two parties, I mean the two states, you know, River State and Edo State, they are very prominent in Nigeria. And I tell you, what happens in both states can go far, a long way to determine even what is going to happen in the next election, because these two governors are very proactive. These are proactive governors. That fraternity love, that love that is existing between them when the whole thing started, that 2016. You know, from 2016, that, you know, the first when it became the first. You know, was it 2016? Okay, 2020. That is when Obaseki, you know, the second term, when Obaseki got the second term of this election. You know, so I think it's very good that both of them have to work together to make sure that the PDP is taken seriously, because when they begin to show off like this, so people that are mostly new members of PDP, they take advantage of it, and they say that these people are not serious, and then they can easily go to another party, because party is just election. It's a game of number. It doesn't matter where the numbers are coming from. It doesn't matter when you join the number, when you join the party. So as a party member, you are equally a member of the party. You have right in the party. And you should be given that right to exercise what you want to do. If I want to talk about, you know, specifically about even the achievement of Godwin Obaseki, because I think the people in Edo State, actually, they are not complaining. If you look at the achievement of this current governor, Godwin Obaseki in Edo State, if you look at from the area of education to the area of infrastructure, the area of development, to the area of transportation management and everything, I think Obaseki has achieved a lot in Edo State. You know, looking at the ocean power plant that is now generating electricity for some areas or government areas in the state, including the EBS, including the Nigeria Union of Journalists building, and other key buildings in the state. So look at the oil refinery that is still ongoing. So all these ones, look at this Edo Best, which is to provide digital ICT infrastructure for teachers and even students, to make sure that they live up to expectation in the next IT generation. So Obaseki is actually doing well, because to the people of Edo State, they can see, they can really see what is on hand, what people are touching. You know, you can see that the governor is working, because every day you see government merging with different people, with businessmen from outside. Of course, if you cannot do something with if the money is not there to do any business with anybody, you can go to MOU. MOU is just sort of investment with you know, combination of calling other people to help in the investment. This one the government puts part of it, and any other interested parties, they put their part. At the end, of course, they're going to work together. But at the end of the day, those infrastructures and what is there belong to Edo State, because they are situated in the state. I think it's a very good means that the governor is using. And look at the recent development in the school of in the area of health, the school of nursing that has been built, and I know that they are now recruiting for recruiting students now to come and start the school. As you know, this is the government of Edo State actually is not doing badly at all. There are I can begin to measure what the governor of Edo State has been doing. You know, look at the 105.6 kilometer Benin Abraka road that is under construction. Look at the light up Edo project, lighting up some areas in the state, like this recently about 283 solar light were put in this Edo North area, Jatu, Aunchi, and the neighborhood area, and these ones are on. Look at the College of Education, the College of Agriculture at Igoriaki. And you know which the government are just which people are already going. Look at the College of Education, the primary sector at Abudu. So the governor is doing a lot of things. Look at the dualization of Ekema Road. You know, the gully erosion at Ikpoba area, Ogiso, rural area. You look at it, so these are initiatives brought by the government of Edo State, and you know, under the governorship, the leadership of Governor Obaseki. You look at the initiative on waste management, what the governor is doing. Look at the secretariat building. So you just the list. You can't. The list is endless. The governor of Edo State is actually working, because if anyone says it's not working, you know, I think the person is not actually looking at this from all areas to see, look, making due comparison, you know, what the previous governors were doing and what the current governor of Edo State is doing. Because everybody, mostly here in diaspora, people are really clapping for the governor of Edo State. He's not the only one in charge, because you can't talk about the governor of Edo State without talking about the deputy governor, Phyllis Shaibu, without talking about members of House Edo State House of Assembly, because they are the lawmakers. They make law, and you know, they have to. We can see that the governor is working with the members of House of Assembly. That is why things are going nowhere. Because when they make law, the governor is ready to execute the law, and things are going on smoothly. So that is why the people of Edo State, they are not actually. Nobody is complaining about the input of this governor, because we see the governor as one of the best governor that we have ever had in the state, you know. So look at even recently, the ultra modern etc. Car park, you know, that the chairman also the chairman the national PDP this Ayu Senator Dr. Ayu, you know, was you know, invited to come and open recently. So at least, you know, these are something that come to people's mind when they see, because people are really enjoying this thing. They look at this jet, the marine jetty boat that the governor you know, recently provided, the marine gunboat and the marine police base, you know, that the armor guns that the governor provided for the police to make sure that security in the riverine area is you know, is tackled, you know, just to combat this banditry and kidnapping people that go through the river and using through these rivers to come to Edo State to make all this upheaval to kidnap people. So just which was also recently commissioned. The Central Car Park is something that is very, even people I saw was shown the other time looking at this Central Car Park, and they say, no, that what a fantastic, just like people coming from just like the airport. So the governor of Edo State is actually doing well, because if we want to recount what he's doing, we can see that whether it's MOU or whatever people call it, he's doing greatly. The governor of Edo State is actually doing very well, and the people of Edo State, we don't have any other thing to do that. We just say we thank you so much for what you are doing. PDP on the other hand, Wike is doing marvelously as well in River State. At least he's a well-loved governor, and we can see the major development that Wike is doing in River State. So, you know, Wike is a very popular man, and we also know that he's playing an inclusive, you know, leadership in River State, and this is what he has to continue to do. And both of them, they have to work together, because both of them now belong to PDP. So when both of them work together, definitely PDP will have an upper hand, you know, combined with other governors, PDP governors in the state, so that they have to play their part to make sure that the upcoming presidential election is won by PDP. So for now, that is what I have to say. So people should, if you like what you are saying, do not hesitate to give me some. Don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel, and I would love that as well. Thank you for listening to me this time, and I will come back again. Thank you very much. Bye bye.